crowd grow silent, and all eyes were on Paul now. For a moment, the arrogance on his face faltered. He opened his mouth to speak but seemed at a loss for words. Emma stood her ground, unwavering, her presence commanding respect even in the tense atmosphere. Paul shifted uncomfortably, glancing at the crowd, many of whom were now recording the interaction on their phones. The weight of public scrutiny began to sink in. Reluctantly, he bent down, picked up the packet of noodles and the bottle of soft drink, and placed them back on the shelf. The crowd erupted in a wave of approval, with murmurs of praise directed at Emma. A young woman nearby whispered, "She's amazing. I wish I had that kind of courage." Emma didn't bask in the attention. Instead, she simply nodded at Paul, her expression steady and calm. "Thank you," she said, her tone neutral but firm. "It's not about pride or arguments. It's about respect for the people around you." Paul avoided her gaze, mumbling something under his breath before walking away, his demeanor noticeably less confident. Emma turned back to her shopping, the incident behind her, but her actions had left an undeniable impression on everyone in the store. As Emma walked out of the supermarket with her essentials in hand, a middle-aged man approached her hesitantly. "Ma'am," he said, his voice filled with admiration, "you stood up for what's right. Thank you for reminding us that even the smallest actions matter." Emma gave him a warm smile and nodded. "It's not just about me. We all have the power to make things better, one choice at a time." That day, Emma not only stood her ground but also inspired others to reflect on their own actions. Her quiet strength and unyielding principles proved that courage isn't always about grand gestures. It's often found in the moments when we choose to do what's right, no matter how small it may seem. The story spread quickly, with many sharing the video online. People praised Emma's bravery and the way she upheld her values, even in the face of arrogance and disrespect. She had reminded everyone that being a hero isn't about the uniform you wear. It's about the choices you make every single day. Emma didn't back away, nor did she allow his threatening tone to shake her. Instead, she held her ground, her voice unwavering and deliberate. "Regret. I don't regret standing up for what's right," she said, her tone calm but with an undercurrent of defiance. "Your badge doesn't give you the right to demean or disrespect anyone. It's meant to protect, not to intimidate." Paul's face flushed with frustration as murmurs rippled through the crowd. Emma's words were like a mirror reflecting the flaws in his behavior for all to see. He glanced around, noticing the growing number of phones recording the encounter. The confidence he had tried to project now seemed forced, his bluster failing to mask his unease. "Enough," Paul barked, his voice rising in frustration. "This is ridiculous. You think you're some kind of hero. You're just causing a scene." Emma's expression remained calm, her eyes steady and unwavering. "A scene," she replied, her voice sharper now. "The only scene here is a man in uniform forgetting what it means to serve the public. If standing up for dignity and respect makes me a troublemaker, then so be it." The tension in the supermarket was palpable, with every customer watching intently. Even the employees had paused their work, their eyes fixed on the unfolding drama. Emma's unwavering stance seemed to inspire silent support among the crowd, her words resonating with an unspoken truth. Paul took another step forward, his tone dripping with irritation. "I don't have time for this nonsense. Just stay out of my way." Emma didn't flinch, her composure as unyielding as ever. "I'm not in your way," she said firmly. "You're standing in your own way, letting arrogance and prejudice cloud your judgment. This isn't about me or you. It's about the kind of example we set for others." Paul hesitated, his bravado faltering under the weight of her words and the silent judgment of the crowd. Emma's presence, though understated, carried an undeniable authority that couldn't be ignored. After a tense pause, Paul finally turned away, muttering something under his breath as he walked toward the exit. The crowd parted, their eyes following him as he left the store, his once confident stride now noticeably subdued. As the door closed behind him, a wave of quiet relief swept through the supermarket. One by one, customers returned to their shopping, but many cast appreciative glances toward Emma. A middle-aged woman approached her, gratitude in her voice. "Thank you for standing up to him. You've shown all of us what real courage looks like." Emma offered a small, humble smile. "Sometimes doing the right thing means standing up, even when it's uncomfortable," she said softly. That day, Emma's actions became a powerful reminder to everyone in that supermarket, and beyond, that dignity, respect, and courage are values worth fighting for, no matter the circumstances. Paul's face turned pale as the evidence began to pile against him. He stammered, searching for words to defend himself, but the weight of the situation had crushed his bravado. The officers surrounding him looked unimpressed, their gazes stern and professional. Emma remained composed, standing tall and unwavering amidst the unfolding scene. She turned to the mayor and said, "This isn't about bringing one man down. It's about reminding everyone that no one is above the law, not even those who are supposed to uphold it." Mayor Preston nodded in agreement, his voice firm. "You're absolutely right, Colonel. The law is here to protect everyone, not to be used as a tool for intimidation. Actions like this damage the trust between the people and the authorities, and that cannot be tolerated." With a signal from the mayor, the officers approached Paul, placing him in handcuffs as the crowd murmured in approval. Paul lowered his head, his earlier arrogance replaced with the shame of public accountability. The mayor turned back to the crowd, addressing them with a calm yet powerful tone. "Let today serve as a reminder that justice is not a privilege for the few, it is a right for all. Thank you, Colonel Anderson, for your courage and for setting an example for us all." The crowd erupted into applause, their support for Emma evident. She nodded humbly, her expression remaining steady and resolute. As the officers escorted Paul out of the supermarket, the tension that had gripped the room began to ease. A young boy approached Emma, his eyes wide with admiration. "Are you a hero?" he asked, his voice filled with awe. Emma crouched down to his level, a warm smile on her face. "No, sweetheart," she said gently. "I'm just someone who believes in doing what's right. And so can you." The boy beamed, and Emma rose to her feet, glancing around at the crowd. "We all have the power to stand up for justice," she said, her voice carrying a quiet strength. "It starts with small actions. Every choice we make matters." As Emma walked out of the supermarket, her head held high, she knew that the day's events had left an indelible mark, not just on Paul, but on everyone who had witnessed the confrontation. It was a reminder that courage, fairness, and accountability could bring change, even in the face of arrogance and abuse of power. Her actions that day became a symbol of resilience and integrity, inspiring countless others to stand up for what is right, no matter how daunting the challenge. Justice had prevailed, and Emma had once again proven the true meaning of leadership and courage. This story delivers a powerful message about courage, justice, and integrity in the face of prejudice and abuse of power. It highlights Emma Anderson's bravery, humility, and resilience as she confronts systemic issues while inspiring societal change. The narrative builds a strong emotional connection with the audience by showing how a single act of standing up for justice can lead to widespread reform and inspire countless others. From the poignant moments in the supermarket to the broader social impact, the story reinforces themes of responsibility and accountability, resonating deeply with readers. Your inclusion of Emma's continued dedication to her principles, her influence on systemic changes, and the lasting legacy she leaves for future generations is truly inspiring. If you'd like to refine this story further for your channel, let me know.